What's up, you HCMC Army and Moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. This is my weekly update for HCMC. Got many questions around nothing happened to HCMC post their announcement on adding shareholder value. So we will be reviewing what's going on, what you can expect, because Q4 2022 could be crucial for HCMC in terms of adding shareholder value, and many people can benefit it. And especially if you're diamond holding, you might really want to get yourself aware of what's going on, what can happen to the company. Overall, I believe it's a great company. We have seen massive success in many penny stocks for 2022, including ILUS, CYBL, Hcmc. If you're running these stocks, or if you're owning these stocks for free, if you're riding for free, you really know what I am referring to. If you're not, you might want to watch my videos more frequently, or you want to get on this channel more frequently to see how you can write it for free. And we have done pretty well in regards to writing for free. CYBL went down around 1 cent. ILUS is around 6-7 cents, but guess what, we have been writing for free, so we do not really have money out of our own pocket. On the top, we just also booked some great profit, so you really want to play the strategy. Now, if you haven't clicked the like button on this video for HCMC, give yourself a like, because you're holding it for a long period of time and you want to make sure that we can share this information and greatest and latest updates of HCMC with many more people. So hit the like button, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on some of the very juicy, important, and meaningful, impactful updates that I share on this channel. And furthermore, you really want to keep an eye out as to what HCMC is doing. Right now, we are at 0.0001. We were at 0.0002. So we are barcoding between 1 and 2 levels for many months. And the story is still the same. I'm not able to see the chart right here. But the crux of the matter is, still, we are seeing some of the challenges in terms of the stock market indexes overall in general. Nasdaq was 16,000 at the beginning of the year 2022. Right now we are at 12,000. So for one day we are up 2.11%. For 5 days we are still up 2.50, 2.60%. 1 month we are down 5.22%. For 6 months we are fluctuating, so we are playing between 13 and 12, 12 and 13, 12 and 13 for the most part. And we did go below 11,000 at one point, 10,646. But overall, if you take a look at year to date, we started at close to 1,600, precisely 15,832. We went down almost at 11,000 or 10,646. At that time, many of us, if you watch my channel, we bought many stocks, including NIO, Tesla, and other large cap stocks. And guess what? We have done tremendously well because we went up 23 to 24%. For Nasdaq, it's pretty high. So if you think about year to date, we are down 23%, but from the bottom, we are up 23% as well. Take a look, 2,456 points up, which means 23.07% up. And many of us, especially if you're watching my channel, we took the advantage of that. We made money in Tesla, we made money in NIO, we made money in SoFi, we made money in a lot of large cap stocks. So you really want to pay close attention, because even if market is still down, there is an opportunity to the market to make more and more money. Now, HCMC on the other side is a different story. It's a penny stock, it's OTC traded stock, it has strong community, there is a lot of potential. I like the company because there is massive growth opportunity, and we've started seeing that. Think about why. Because if you start seeing that the record sales for this quarter ending Q2, 6.1 million. So they were not doing even 5 million before a few months. Now they're recording the revenue of 6.1 million for the second quarter, which is 81.1% year-over-year growth. Gross margin also went higher, 2.3 million for the quarter, almost 60% year-over-year growth. And which is why I'm saying there is a lot more money to be made in HCMC. However, they need to put the right steps ahead. One of the things, and why I started looking into HCMC, is because of their lawsuit with Phillip Morris, which became kind of a big buzz. There are more than 85,000 people on stock tweets looking into HCMC even today. So it's one of the very popular stock. Phillip Morris has had to fight really hard, and it's into the appeal stage at the moment as to what's going to happen with the patent, because HCMC is going after Philip Morris. Philip Morris has invested more than $3 to $4 billion into the IQOS product, which is infringing, according to HCMC, which is infringing the patent that HCMC has. And I started learning more about what combustion is, how does that work, what is carbon dioxide, CO2, and CO, which is carbon monoxide, so on and so forth. Now, one thing that you want to note right here is our volume is still down, so we're not doing anything way better in terms of the volume, regardless of what we have seen last week or last couple of weeks in terms of the announcement. But this announcement will start kicking into action very, very soon, because guess what they're trying to do is, and if you missed my previous video, let me just quickly touch upon the 4-point plan that they want to increase the shareholder value. Remember, the way that they started is, I have previously indicated that HCMC management and its board of directors have been working diligently on comprehensive plan to attempt to bring meaningful added value to its shareholders. And I believe personally that this is a great way to start a letter to their shareholder. Our share ownership structure has made it complex and difficult task. Now, it is not complex and difficult. The matter here is, or the crux of the matter is, they have ginormous amount of shares, outstanding shares, 339 billion plus shares, as you can see, which is outstanding. Their float right now is 7.3 billion and the market cap is 33.9 million. Now, if you think about this, they have to do some sort of buyback. They have to do some sort of reverse split in order to bring these values that you are seeing in billions down, or cut in 1/4, or cut in 3/4. So slash down 1/4 and then start buying back, and then do additional enhancement to make sure that they're not running into a very small price that we are looking at right now, especially if they want to get listed on NYSE. It could happen with the reverse merger with any other shell company as well. And this is, I believe, that they're trying to do. When addressing the share structure, there are limited number of ways to reduce the number of outstanding shares. This is precisely, I've been telling on my channel many times, and I've touched upon it. You can go watch my previous videos on my channel, and we have been talking about all this, which is pretty impactful for not just HCMC, any shares, any company, any stock that has huge number of shares or outstanding shares into the market, with some of the most common being reverse split, and the another one is buyback. Now, when you think about a reverse split, it's not really a positive word for whenever you think about a stock, and we have seen that for multiple stocks. If you think about CTRM, SNDL, and many other stocks, by the way, we have been pretty profitable in all those stocks because we played it right at the right time. And I do not have crystal ball. I never claim that I really know what's going on. I am not a financial advisor. So at the end of the day, do your own due diligence and research. This is not a financial advice. This is merely I'm sharing the research and analysis that I've done. But however, reverse split is something in my personal mind is not really a positive word. However, given that the situation HCMC is in, I'm not considering that against the stock shareholder value. And the last one that they're talking about is buyback, which is the share of HCMC bought through the repurchase program that HCMC has. Now, what they want to do is significantly expand their grocery and retail store business. Now, if you think about what HCMC has done, is they divided themselves into 4 different buckets. One is the IP holding company. Second one is the choice market, which are the physical store, especially in Florida. Vitamin store, which is an online component or arm of HCMC. And the last one is healthier wellness center. Now, if you think more, they want to also add the wellness center program or segment, which is more of a licensing agreement and deals where HCMC is not skyrocketing their operational overheads and EBITDA. One thing that HCMC is struggling is they're burning a ton of cash. Now, why it may or may not be a great idea is, think about it. Their total sale right now in 2022 at the end of Q2, 6.1 million. Total cost, 3.8 million. That's the cost of sales. Their gross profit is 2.3. However, they have huge operating expense, which is their operational overheads, which is their personal that they're trying to run the business with, and other overheads or EBITDA, which is 3.699. So loss from operation that they booked is 1.3 million. Now, if they flip the switch, if they move the needle, if they trigger this the right way, what they can do is, even if they get just 10 to 15% total profit on their sale, which is going to be $600,000. And this can this be done? 100%, but they want to move into the right direction, which will happen over time. And that's what we are all waiting to hear back from Hcmc. Another one is 46% increase in first quarter revenue this year over year, which is amazing. The most recently reported record-setting second quarter that we talked about, 6.1 million in terms of the revenue, which is the top line numbers, top line sales, what they really want to now focus on. So they hit the sales, now they need to hit the operating expense. If their operating expense they reduced by 50%, guess what? Their profit will skyrocket, which is not happening right now at Hcmc. Now, one of the challenges that they have is all these physical locations, which need human resources, which needs to get paid as well. Hcmc is unable to figure that thing out just yet. But guess what? Given the time, given the experience their executive team will have, they'll start figuring out as the revenue starts spiking up, because even if the revenue spikes up, they don't really need to hire more and more people if the same platforms are operating with more and more and more revenue, which means they'll be only adding the cost for the goods and not for the human resources, which is what will make them pretty profitable. Now, next one that I'm thinking, and they are also mentioning here that they're projecting roughly doubling year-over-year revenue from 2021 to 2022. This is not important. We are in 2022 already. What I am interested personally to see is what they are going to bring in 2023. Can they double from 6 million a quarter to 10 to 12 million a quarter in 2023 or not? That's where we need to see, because that's what can put Hcmc into a profitable business bucket that I think for myself. Now, one thing that you want to remember is what Hcmc is doing is buyback of $5 million worth of Hcmc common stock, which is going to be pretty important, because if you think about what Hcmc's right now market value or market cap is 33.9. So $5 million and up to $5 million. So it's not going to happen overnight. It will happen in smaller chunks, or it can be in bigger chunks as well. But overall, $5 million, considering their current market value, the market cap, it's almost 15%. So 5 million of a 33.9, so 34 million, give or take, it's going to be 15% of the total buyback value that Hcmc is talking about. Their spin-off, it's going to be really amazing as well. Before I go there, I just wanted to say that they're talking about 27% of Hcmc's current capital reserves. Company has a ton of money on hand because they did the rights offering, as you already know. So if I go back and if I can show you cash and cash equivalent, that they have $20 million, close to $20 million, 19.3 million on hand. They almost have 2.9 million or 3 million with current assets, that they put their current assets at $22.2 million. So these numbers look pretty amazing. Their balance sheet is pretty strong in my honest opinion as well, which will keep the company up and running for many more quarters, because they're not losing that much money. What they're losing is more or less $1.5 million a quarter from the operations. So it's not like company will have to raise more and more money. But what the company is doing in addition is the spin-off. After the spin-off, what they want to do is they want to get listed on NYSE. The spin-off will result in new public company formed with the intention of listing at NYSE. And in my opinion, this could be either an IPO, which might be a smaller possibility in my opinion, but what they can do is the reverse merger. And what that means is they might have a shell company, they are already listed on NYSE, and they can do reverse merger, and that way Hcmc can get listed with a new name on NYSE. This new co, and let's call it a new company that will receive the Hcmc's entity owning Hcmc's retail store, ADA Natural Market, Paradise Health Nutrition, Mother's Earth Storehouse, Healthy Choices Wellness Centers, And many of these deals are licensing deals. They'll continue to the path of growth with the healthier vertical that HCMC started, explored, and growth opportunities that will comport with HCMC's healthier management system or the mission that they're running with. So this is going to be super impactful. Now, there is still the case of this lawsuit that can potentially go into the positive direction. However, the chances are very thin. I want to be very upfront and transparent based on my analysis. I'm not seeing a huge value from the lawsuit because nothing has happened. They are in the appeal court, and also the patent at the moment is at stake, in my opinion. Now, but regardless, they will retain the entire patent suite, all the rights to the patent infringement case against Philip Morris, which is currently awaiting the decision for the appeal. As well as Q-Cup brand, HCMC will develop this patent suite into R&D, and that patent rights against the infringers and attempting to monetize the said patents through the licensing deals. Now, one more thing that you also want to note is the stock dividend that they're talking about. It is anticipated that the new co will start with the initial price of $10 in order to qualify and receive the stock dividend. HCMC shareholder dividend entitlement amount must be at least $10. For each $10 dividend entitlement, the shareholder will receive 1 share of a new stock. So that's what you can think about as well. So if someone has $100 worth, they will be getting 10 new stock or new company stock that they're structuring or restructuring. No fractional shares of NewCo will be issued, and the stock dividend will not be rounded up. The last one is equity capital raises, which is really interesting because I think that if they have institutional investor, they'll give them a pretty good direction. They'll keep the EBITDA and operational expenses under control. They'll be identifying newer ways and innovative ideas as to how they can solve the complex operational problems for HCMC moving forward to make them profitable. Their issue is not really sales at the moment. They're doing 6.1 million quarter-over-quarter. Hopefully they'll continue, but if they can just get 10 to 15% in terms of the profitability, the net income, and stop losing that 1.4 million that they're losing at the moment, it will be a win-win situation, and these institutional investors can help them out. Their contractual investment commitment is $13.25 million. And remember, these institutional investors might be laser focused to make money for the money that they have invested. So they're different than the retail shareholders because we don't really look into their operations. Retail shareholders don't really advise them or can advise them that they are going to listen to. But when they have $13.25 million, a big chunk from the same institutional investor that are recently invested or completing this offering Series E for preferred stock, they can push HCMC's executive management in the right direction, which is going to be really impactful. We are cognizant that HCMC's institutional capital raise may result into additional shares being issued at the event of preferred stocks, but guess what? They are doing reverse split. They're going to do buyback. They're going to do multiple parts of things, and they're very well aware of bringing their billions of shares that they have in outstanding share market to bring them down and add more and more investor value. So this is what I wanted to talk to you. I hope you like this video. If you already did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and congratulations if you're diamond handing HCMC and taking this journey with you. And it's not an easy, it's a wild ride. We have seen it went to 0.0065, went back to 0.0001, and it is basically barcoding between 1 and 2 levels, but we can expect something is going to happen in Q4 2022. I wish you all the best. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.